Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Learn From Us podcast. We're here with the deal of the week. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm busy looking at Instagram.
Let's hit it, boys.
Deal of the week, deal of the week, Andrew Banks Paula, deal of the week.
And I'm here too. Great, guys. I love it. Beautiful. Andrew, I love when you hear the deal of the weeks.
Yeah, I miss it.
We present to you the deals where Andrew brings Paul a deal, just how the soundbite just said, and Paul gives us the numbers of what he thinks he should buy this property at. Now, there have been some properties that have gone through, boys, and I wish I would have bought them myself. Remember that four-banger in Cleveland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that one, yeah.
Is it still for sale?
I have no idea.
Boy,
Isn't that your job?
Something about that one. Andrew, we got to look that
I
one
wasn't
up.
buying it anyway, so I'm not worried about that.
Well, our good friend here, Seth.
No,
might
Paul and I
wanna-
will go halfsies on it.
I'll tell you what,
Duh.
Seth. Just throw a couple $100,000 in the account, and we'll go hunting for you.
Is that how it works? Where are we today with this deal, Andrew? Give it to me.
So, contrary to popular belief, we actually do look at deals outside of deal of the week. And so, what we wanted to
What
do...
does that mean?
That means we're actually trying to buy apartment buildings.
Yeah.
So, this is one we looked at.
Oh, look at that! You got
And-
Lindsay.
and this was a...
Look at that.
Seth, this was an interesting deal. It was down in Columbus, so it was one that that we offered on.
Oh,
Yeah,
let me look
exciting.
at it.
I'm
Is
doing-
it dead?
I'm doing a.
Is
yeah,
it dead?
It's dead for now. It's rare.
That's the
something
one I
ever
told
comes
you,
back.
1.5%. He asked for more. He's like, it's yours for 1.5% more. We're like, no.
So tell us about this deal, Andrew.
So it's 88 units. Here, take a look.
Okay.
I'm going to hand you the stack so you can start going through it. But it's 88 units. It's a one of the things Paul and I always talked about. We've got some Class C property, and we'd like to add some kind of B to A type stuff. And this is a 90s build, so it's
Late
really clean
90s
construction.
build.
Brick siding, pitched roofs, super clean.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really great. Like I said, like I say on other deals of the week, this looks too nice for you guys to buy. It looks they have a table of contents of like the summary of this pamphlet.
Well, don't get enamored by the broker.
Yeah.
Or Seth will call you, or Paul here is going to call you a boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah, they have 3D diagrams of the interior, like it's flip or flop shows on home
Let me see that.
HGTV. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty common.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? So Andrew, tell me about this. Yeah, the outside has the brick, nice siding, like it's wonderful. What's the story? Oh,
Super clean. It's nice and easy. It's 88 units, all 2 beds,
I love that.
and all 2 baths, which is pretty
Wow.
neat.
So like one in the master, one downstairs for everyone to use.
Well, you
And
say
they're
downstairs,
flats.
but they're flats, so it's all the
Oh, I'm sorry.
same floor, but
This
yeah.
2-story building. These
Yeah,
are
yeah, so you just plated like
I see flats. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a new term. Look that up, guys.
Write that down.
Now,
Write it down.
this is great. You're right. Now I'm looking into this. They do a pie chart of the unit breakdowns. If you're on YouTube, take a look. They're all 2 bedrooms, so the pie chart is completely filled with one color, and then next to it is a bar graph with 1 bar filled to the top with all 1 unit. So the
I
great.
can't stop laughing because it's exactly what my brokers are so full of shit. The guy has the most useless.
Someone took time to make this pie graph. They're like, I got it now.
Seth,
this is how I can
you ready
show the
to
variation.
see? This is why Paul calls him my boyfriend. So this is a program. You just drop a couple things in. It does the whole thing for you.
I see.
He just didn't delete the pie chart. That was probably not.
We need an
needed.
extra page. I got hold my beer.
That was my PhD thesis was just a bunch of graphs.
Yeah.
That's how I really got the page number up. To
Did
where it
you
was
do
supposed to be.
the 2.5 spacing in between instead of
Had
the double?
to, bro. Had to. Here, I'll let you read it.
How much?
Did I ever tell you the title of
I want
it?
to read Shipes. Oh yeah, let's hear the title.
Well, I'm a little foggy,
Yeah.
but it's something like the synthesis and characterization of icosahedroborane clusters for anti-cancer purposes. Doesn't that sound exhilarating, Andrew?
Oh,
Come
I
on.
already fell asleep.
All right, here, have your papers back and tell me about what's up.
So the thing that caught our eye, not only is it nice and clean, it's 88 units, which is nice, but it's in Columbus. And the reason I point that out is we own 500 units pretty close, nearby.
Yeah.
We love 2 bedrooms. And the fact that we already have management in place in the area just makes this much easier. And for us, it's something that we can get a little more aggressive with our numbers, knowing the market very well and knowing the fact that we can get in and take a good stab at something have confidence in our results.
Can we talk about this since is the deal dead enough, Paul? We can talk about numbers and what happened.
We can talk about numbers even if the deal's not dead. I don't give a fuck.
We're going to
Go.
talk about numbers on this one.
Go, Andrew. So 88 units. What are the rents? What are they saying they can get, and what are they? Yeah, what are they getting? What are they saying they can get? I know this. I know the deal. How this deal of the week goes, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah, you're
They're
pretty
getting
good.
$800 a month right now.
Correct.
Okay, 800 on all the 2 bedrooms.
They're not saying how much they can get.
Well, he does have something called a little street rent.
Oh, street rent, not market rent.
I
Street
know.
rent.
That's
Street
how cool.
cred.
It keeps your cred up.
What's the street rent?
$900.
$900
$900. Okay.
So they're saying everything's at 800. You can get 900.
without doing any work to it.
Is
They're
the
saying.
is the quick and dirty of what they're saying.
Without doing any work, they always. Why don't they just? I don't get. They want to just make it 900 if you don't have to do anything to it.
Exactly, Seth.
Oh my God!
You see,
You're
that,
so
folks,
fucking smart.
I fell right
Guys.
into their trap.
That's why they call him the doctor.
No, it's actually because he wrote tetrahydrocannabinol, something,
Cannabinol.
I think it's
the desensitizing
Oh.
of.
So listen to this. My buddy Ryan and I go to a bar. Not a joke. This actually happened. He is a PhD in physics.
Which actually is more interesting than yours, but go ahead.
He studied femtolasers at Akron.
Okay.
So at the bar, you know, the big thing in cocktails now is the round ice cube.
oh yeah,
yeah.
So they're
the
kind of
sphere.
They're kind of hard to make, you know, Andrew. Like to get like the mold and put the water in and it freeze and
It's not real. You just put water in it and you just close it.
yeah. So you've seen this thing, right?
I own two.
The little
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
I also have one in football shapes too.
we got to talk about that because I've never seen it before. So, folks, if you go online, I think there's one like called the Whiskey Company or something where they sell bars, but basically it's like a cylinder that's split in the middle, and you put a giant ice cube in the middle, and then the weight of the top of the cylinder like presses down and like instantly melts the ice. Obviously turns it into water, and you get a sphere when you're done. You put that in your whiskey, but seeing the 23-year-old bartender try to explain the chemistry and physics behind what was happening.
They had no idea that you were.
Of course not. So I just do this all the time. I'm like, tell me about this. Well, what's going on here? And just to hear them go through the PV
Well,
equals
you
NRT
know.
and you see the weight here. And so, yeah. So
Was that the story?
It's actually much simpler. You fill it with water, you just put it in the freezer, out comes ice.
we're not talking about the same thing, bro. The weight thing.
He's not talking about the weight thing.
Mine is much simpler than your little weight.
You said you had 3 of them.
2 of them, he said.
Yeah, it's a plastic thing with a
No,
silicone
no,
lid,
no, you
and it
didn't.
comes out in perfect spheres.
I'm going to look up what Seth's
I
talking about.
know. You didn't listen to this. Were you listening to the dude's story here?
It's,
Andrew.
would you look at that? Not would you listen to
Would
that?
you listen to that? Listen, Andrew, there is this weighted machine where you make a sphere in like 10 seconds.
Oh.
You take imagine you take a cup like a
Why would I have 3 of those?
well, when you jumped right on it like, oh, I have 3 of those. I was like, they're kind of expensive. They're like $500. But you take like a styrofoam cup, you fill it with
Is
water.
it that thing on the right?
Yes.
Left?
And
See this?
in front of you, it melts this ice at rapid speed. Like I can't even figure out what's going on. It's really just a heat transfer thing. But so it takes a ball of ice, like a big block of ice, and melts it into a perfect sphere. Like molds it quickly. Like
Are you sure this is it? This is not
Probably
it.
lasers.
femtolasers.
Is that it? That's not it.
That's it. That is it. I mean, that's probably a cheaper made in wherever China version of the awesome one I found. But yeah, that's
Only
it.
the good lasers are from U.S., by the way.
But the point is, when people get sciencey on me, like normal people, and they think I'm a normal person, it's freaking hilarious to hear the people, like why, Paul, why is the sky blue?
It has to do with the rays of the sun and how they.
Nope, idiot. Jesus said so.
Tell me. So, Paul, there are people in this world that think it reflects off the blue oceans.
No, it's not that.
Of course.
This conversation is perfect.
But when I taught chemistry at OSU, that was a very wide, well-known sort of phenomenon. Is the rays hit the ocean and bounces up to something, and yeah. So
But they don't remember. Here's why it's wrong. What people don't realize is when you see some color, that's the light being reflected away from it. So how could the ocean be blue and the sky be blue? You follow what I'm saying? Like when we're
Yes.
sitting there and seeing
Yes.
something, it means everything else. If we see brown, it means every other color that's not involved with brown is being absorbed into it, not being reflected away. So for the ocean to be blue and the sky to be blue because of the ocean, that makes no sense.
that's
can't
right,
both
Paul.
absorb.
They can't both. Exactly.
That's
That's
right.
the whole point.
Anyway, let's get back to this intriguing bar graph.
Yeah. So apparently they're all 2-beds, Seth.
It's nice.
No, so again, the other thing, when they're all sitting at 800, we're looking at this saying late 90s build, super clean on the inside. Now, the kitchens and baths aren't top notch, but we've got product nearby that is 70s build. Our outsides do not compete with this. This is a better product,
Nice.
but our insides are nicer.
Uh-huh.
And our rents are more than they're getting. And
Uh-huh.
they're in a better area.
Yeah, I know where this is at. And yeah, so what did you think you can get on rents? 1,100.
No.
Go
But
on.
950, 975, 995.
Okay.
We think just short of 1,000.
Do you want to know why the sky is blue?
Oh, you pulled something up?
Yeah, I pulled it up to get the exact reason because I didn't have the exact. It had some. I knew it had something to do with the way.
Does it
Well,
mention Rayleigh
let's-
scattering?
Well,
Rayleigh?
the short answer is this:
Let's not leave everyone hanging. who's
sunlight
watching.
reaches Earth's atmosphere and is scattered in all directions by all the gases and particles in the air. Blue light is scattered more than the
Rayleigh
other colors
scattering, it's called.
because it travels at shorter, smaller waves. That's why we see blue. What'd
tell
you
'em
say it's
so.
called?
Rayleigh, Reyleigh, Rayleigh scattering. It's like, yeah.
So he can
You're
spell
probably
that.
right.
He can spell that, but he can't spell Tanner.
the inside joke, folks. Let's keep going on this property. Keep going. 950.
Yeah. So
So I see where you're going with this. It
the
looks better.
idea is if our stuff is uglier on the outside and these rents are 800, significantly lower than the 2 beds that we've already got down the street in a worse area, we know we can immediately probably get a bump without doing anything. Can we get the 900 that the broker's saying? Probably not. We can't get all that. Can we put in some sort of money to the kid? Maybe we do luxury vinyl plank. We repaint the place, throw in some fancier counters, and maybe doll up the bathroom a little bit, right? Do we have to touch the plumbing, the electric, the structure, the outside?
No.
I don't see why you guys are interested in this. Actually, usually you guys are looking for more of a spread here. I mean, we're talking $100 a
That's a
property.
very interesting comment there, Seth.
Nice on the outside.
By the way, we think we can get higher than 900 if we do that work to
Well,
it.
right. If we put the work in, like I said, let's say you get $975. It's still $175 spread per unit,
yeah.
and that's $175 on 800.
This was a tight deal for us. We made
Yeah.
our best effort at it.
So, okay. So what about taxes? That's a big thing, right?
Yep.
We underwrote the full taxes.
What
Taxes,
are
Let's do this.
It was
Let's go in and see
They
what
were
the
100
broker had.
they were 118, I think, or 112, and went to 171.
You got the magic sheet over there?
they? No,
Oh.
you have all of it.
Lies. I have it. Let's see. So they've got per unit expenses
Down at the bottom.
4,951.
They have the taxes only at 150.
That sounds low.
5,000? No, it's not terribly low.
It's actually not terrible.
I thought you were gonna say something like 6,700.
No.
Oh, no.
No, we were close to 5,300 on this.
Yep. But they don't have the full taxes in there. Why? Because they're fucking brokers. You know who you are, you fucker.
They did 90% of the sale. Still more than
Can
a
you
lot of brokers do zero.
Can you explain that to me?
So if the taxes are $1 right now because of an old purchase price,
Yeah.
if we go and buy at double the
Oh.
purchase price, the taxes would go from $1 to $2.
Uh-huh.
In this case, he's saying, I'm going to give you 90%. So he's calling it $1.80. So he's shorting a little bit of what it actually will be. When we're saying, no, if we buy it at this and the rate is this, it will go to $2. It's an actual calculation.
Yeah.
The brokers try to throw in the idea that you're not going to instantly go to $2. You may not get revalued for a couple of years, of which we'll have some savings from a cost standpoint of
See,
being
that's
able
how-
to pay
that's
$1
how-
for a little bit,
and
and they'll
that's-
short the top number.
And that's how dumb brokers are. That's not the way I would do
But
it.
eventually, when you sell the property, you'll be at 2 at least if you're not getting revalued to a higher point from a future buyer.
You must prejudge brokers, and when you shake someone's hand at a party and they say what they do, you must be like, I can't. Tell me, Paul.
What I would do in that situation, if I wanted to give value for the future, I would take the 2 years of savings and present value it. And just say, this is what I'm going to give you on top of the normal. So let's say, for example, I came up to a price of $6 million, but I thought the present value of that savings was $100,000. I'd offer you $6.1 million. That's the thing that I would do because that's what it's worth.
You don't get the continued value
Yeah,
of the
they're
savings
doing
because that
that's
goes
the
away.
thing. They're doing the continued value forever of this when
Correct.
they underwrite it here. And that's just a broker being a broker, aka a lying sack of shit. Realtors.
Okay. So how did you guys get to your number? Go through the process again. You know, what you're going to get off the property, what it costs, what you're going to put into it.
We put it into real estate calculator, which is our awesome real estate calculation program. And we sat there and said, okay, let's do these extremes. Let's do our low end, middle, high end and see what kind of returns we can get. What if we're wrong on the rehab? What ends up being more? What if we're wrong on the rents? What if we're wrong on both? What if we're right on both? We did all these extremes and sat there and talked to our manager, Mary, and said, Mary, you know the area. Give us an all-day rent and a aggressive rent. Well, I think I can get this. I think I can get $950 all day. I might be able to get $1,000. Okay. You know, these things we do, and we throw like a spectrum of what are the probabilities. And when we still came in with pretty close to double digits on the low end of us effing up. And I'll be honest with you, we wanted to be aggressive and get a deal done because how close it is. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take any extra management from us. We were like, okay, that's going to be extra cream for us. So we went aggressive on this thing and said, let's assume we're going to get our 15% return on this thing.
But there's always a couple things that we like to point out when we look at the underwriting that, yeah, Paul and I made saying, well, is the exit is it a 7 cap, 7.5? And Paul's talking about the spread over interest rates over time.
Well, Andrew was like, let's sell it at a 3 cap. I'm like, well, that's not
That's
that.
exactly what I did. So I'm glad we brought that up.
Did I just shit myself?
Oh, boy.
You guys are both wearing teal today. It looks cute.
This isn't teal. Is this teal?
No, that's gray.
Next to
This is
teal.
blue.
Looks great, though.
So
blue.
they've got vacancy at 3.5%.
Sounds a little low.
Very low.
Usually
You're not going to hit that. From a natural turn on units and stuff like that, it's just not going to happen. I hope the cameras. Oh boy, you bent over. What's going on?
Oh, I see. So our last podcast.
You just said, I think I shit myself.
That was the last
and you
podcast.
said, guys, keep going. And you started walking out of the
Walking away.
room. I didn't know what was happening.
Did you see that, Tim? The last podcast was entitled Paul and Seth Shit Their Pants. We started out by just talking about times in our lives where we shat our pants. And and then Paul just said, I shit my pants.
I think I shit my pants.
And then stood up, put his headphones down, and started walking out. I mean,
How are we supposed to continue with this type of interruption? Plus, you're walking away. I have to look for a trail. It's a requirement. You can't keep your eye away from it.
Oh, this feels good.
so what he's now doing is we got the hyper. We should just call them and have them sponsor the damn podcast. We'll do the whole podcast with you vibrating your own ass with a hypervolt. It's like a massaging gun, and Paul's now got it on his dick. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
Let's keep this good. So call it 7-8% vacancy at least, plus a little bad debt. But one of the big things that's a lot of other income was fluff. We took that down to about 20 to 25,000 units. See the 88? You go through the rent roll. One of the units,
It's an office.
it's their management office. Their
Why
leasing
would they do
office.
that?
Because there
like
is
in the
no other office.
It's like in the title of the damn thing, 88 units.
Right.
So are they saying they can make the 88th?
Well, they said, well, you can get rid of the office and rent the unit,
Oh, that's true.
which is true. But where's your office?
Where would it be?
Correct. Where would it be? That was my question to you. You can't ask the same question back.
You can't
triple
triple stamp a
stamp
double stamp. So Paul and I are expert Dumb and Dumber watchers. In fact, we watch it together and giggle like giddy schoolgirls.
So the other day I was passing Seth on the freeway. I lowered the window. I did the whole running in the car thing.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Yeah. So I see. You're.
So that's one of the things that Paul and I, it was a no question. Of course, we agree on that. All the other variables about going high and going low and finding a middle ground that we're comfortable with, do all that. But at the same point, so when you say,
Can I make a comment
Yeah.
also? Andrew was more aggressive in this one than me to start. And then he got me on his side of basically saying like, listen, this is a clean property. It's nearby. And I was like, yeah, it adds to the portfolio. We went more aggressive than I normally would on a rehab project. But I looked at the spread. I looked at the different spectrum of where it could end up. And I was like, listen, if we end up effing up, roiling this thing totally, it's still going to be a property we're going to own and want to own and brag about, even if the return's only 10%. Which I don't like doing. And by the way, when I say 10%, I did not think we're getting lower than 10%. Like, I look at this thing going,
Seth, that's what we always
we're not
try to
effing
tell
this thing
people to
up.
do. Don't just look at the rosy side. You'll get a pro forma from anyone, right? Give me a Tommy Boy line right there.
What? Pro forma?
No, in the sense of like the box. You want me to put a stamp on the
Oh
box?
gosh, yeah. If you want to market guarantee, I will.
I'm going
But
to take a shit in the box and market guaranteed. I got spare time.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
the idea. Everyone's going to paint you a rosy picture.
But good investing is about managing your downside risk. And
Or at
everybody
least
says that.
acknowledging what it could be.
By the way, every cliche asshole in the world goes, well, we know how to manage it. No, you don't. If you're going aggressively, now we sat there and said, what if we're wrong on everything? Rehab is more than we think. We're going to get the low rents. All the expenses are going to be high. It was like 9%. Okay, I can
It was
deal
like
with that.
9.5. So
I can deal with that.
we talked to me in the podcast. I said, Seth, give me $200,000. And you're like, you can do that? If you gave whatever check, right? And I said, I think the worst case scenario is 9 point some percent. What would you say that?
It'll be fine.
And our best case scenario is like 18.7.
Well, that'd be incredible. Obviously.
By the way, to us, that's not incredible to us. That's the great thing about our deals is like we're looking for when we put money into properties north of 20%, and we get those. In fact, our deals in Columbus do way higher than that. We're north of 30%.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now some people would argue that shows how conservative you're being. If you're getting north of 30% on all your deals, you're not being aggressive enough.
Right. They would say that's why,
Sure.
welcome to Deal of the Week. That's why you're not getting
But
any.
on this one, we cut it in half. We went to 15%, and we still didn't get the deal. We're $100,000 off.
What'd you put on this per door?
We under
45?
We did the numbers, so we know what. Are we
What'd you
going to
say?
kind of ruin the average deal of the week? You want to guess a little bit, or
Maybe. I mean, I haven't. Yeah, I wanted to guess a little bit, but
we offered 6.2.
oh,
Well, we started at
20 something a
5.6.
door.
so? Yeah, it
20 something a door.
rework that math, doctor. Do 6.2
yeah,
divided by 87 units.
87. I was doing 88, Paul.
71 to
Well,
120.
71.
71,000 a door. How about
Wow.
how about them apples? That's a little different from some of the numbers you've been hearing out of this podcast.
Yeah, we were getting aggressive on this one. We were comfortable going because the big thing was if this was a new purchase in a new city, zero chance. But we already had 500. Our 500 units are how far away? 3 miles?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe 3 miles away. So we're like, okay, we're going to have a very good. We're not going to hire any other staff apart from what we underwrote in there. Done. The management fee would have been $50,000 a year, right to our bottom line. Okay, helps pay for everybody, Mary traveling, everything.
Well, it doesn't. It's the idea that we have stuff in an area that's not as good with not as nice outside. So from an advertising point, if you have $950, are you going to go live in spot A or spot B? You know, you're going to go to this building because of how nice it looks. You just, if you can.
Extra bathroom, nicer building, nicer pool. We were like, listen, let's be aggressive. And guess what? The owner's just being a pompous little piece of shit. So he's just like, no, give me this, give me 6.3, and it's a done deal. It's like
$100,000 off.
No. And we're like, no.
And by the way, I had a, the broker. He's like, you're going to let it go for this, that type of.
I already told him.
Yeah, it's that idea.
Did you have the call?
Yeah.
Did you call him?
Oh yeah.
I've seen you get ruthless on phone calls.
By the way,
It's happened.
Seth's got a check in his car that he can't cash.
I told him.
That he can't cash that check.
We chatted. He can. Oh,
We're still doing the roofing thing. If I other podcasts about my roof, we'll get back to that. It's an insurance claim. But
How nice does that feel?
now Paul is vibrating Andrew.
I think I need to buy one of these.
I bought one yesterday.
Yeah, that one's mine. Dude, I'm taking that to Mexico. Imagine going through the
That
airport.
definitely is yours.
Imagine going through the airport in that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
So,
yeah, 100 grand.
Yeah,
You're gonna-
100 grand. And the idea was, he goes, seriously, as far as the deal, is it really going to screw your numbers at a certain point? I said, let's say, just for the sake of arguing, let's say my magic number was, if I don't hit 15%, I'm not going to buy it. And you're saying, oh, you're at 14%, so you're not going to buy it because of 1% difference. And the comment is, well, 14 becomes 13, 13 becomes 12, and that's kind of what the market's evolved into.
Does this sound familiar at all?
And so it's the idea of saying, here's the point where I'm going to draw the line and say,
Yep.
I will make this. If I don't make this, I don't buy it. And for us, that was the line. And so he goes, I can't believe you're going to sit there and not take this. And I said the exact same thing. I can't believe he's not going to take this. The comment works both ways.
Yep. You're gonna lose a deal over 100 grand. No, you're gonna lose a deal over 100 grand. See ya.
And by the way, it's not like everyone's standing in line to take it at 6.3.
Yeah. He's gotten 2 other offers, we were told, in the high 5s. So we were being very aggressive. We were being very aggressive. And the reason we're able to pay more is because of the management nearby. And there's another thing we won't talk about here on the air, but there was another reason we're able to get.
And maybe he sits there and throws it on the market. Maybe he gets the price, and maybe.
And guess what? If he comes back to us, guess what? After a while, and says, I'm ready to do 6.2.
6.2.
Nope. That offer was good back then. The new offer is this.
Is that how it goes?
Absolutely.
how it
We
goes.
give whenever we give you an offer that's our best offer that time. You can't go shop it and then come back and expect the offer to be there.
You've said this before,
Oh, many times.
even with my dealings.
Yep, many times.
I never have the stones to keep to it, though.
Listen.
I mean, obviously, you guys aren't desperate.
That's the thing. We put ourselves in a position where it's like, okay,
Well,
and guess what? We are.
and I
desperate to
hate
deal.
saying we
Haven't
need
done
to
a deal in
teach
so long.
people a lesson,
We
right?
wanna have the
because the
rep- we
seller
want-
doesn't care, but for the broker,
broker
that we
needs
work
to
with,
know.
he needs to know.
When
And I
they
want
say-
him to portray to the seller, if the seller's like, nah, just put it on the market, he's going to say, I'm going to warn you right now, if you don't take these guys' offer, they will never hit this number again. I promise. And that kind of conviction will come across on a phone to someone, and maybe they still say, yeah, I don't care, which is fine.
Well, yeah, that's fine with me. But we want the brokers all to see, like, listen, they're not like the other people where they're going to sit there and say, what does this button do? Where they're going to sit there and say, we'll come back and the offer will be good. Nope, the offer's not good. Because to us, it's like, if we're going to give you our best offer and you can't go shop it, or else what's the point of us giving you your best offer? We might as well just hold some money back
If the economy stays like this, how long are you
It
guys
will
going
not.
to sit dormant?
forever.
Forever. You'll just sit here and wait.
Sit here and wait.
So
It's a great question, by
typically
the way.
speaking, yeah, it's a good question.
Because someone
And
like,
I don't see, let's say interest rates go
It will-
even
it will-
lower and the market continues. I don't think it's a period right now of stagnant. It seems like we have more overreactions to current situations. So I see cap rates continue to be driven down to a point where it breaks.
Listen,
I don't see them just sitting at the same point.
there are two guarantees in life. What? Death and taxes. Let's add a third one. It's cycles. There's always cycles. And that's funny because more and more I read about investing, the more and more I read about history, it should be death, taxes, and cycles. There will always be cycles in the economy and investing. The thing that's hot today will not be hot 5 years from now. The thing that's not hot today will be hot 5. That's just the way it works. And anybody who thinks otherwise has not been in business long enough. And if you still been in business for 30, 40 years, you don't see that, you are an idiot.
If
There
people
are.
keep
It's just the way it
making
is.
money, and when I say this, almost in parentheses, as easy as they think it is in real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, my cousin does real estate. That's kind of cool. I should put some. Let me throw in my life savings. When all that stuff starts happening,
You know there's problems.
it's gonna come.
When I get, I won't say who it is because they probably listen to the podcast, but when I get random people who I know make 13, 14 bucks an hour talking about buying, hundreds of $1,000s properties, I go, something's not right here.
I make more than that, Paul. Thank you.
I don't mean that to criticize. I just mean it in the sense of why is somebody who makes $25,000 or $30,000 a year, why are they looking at a couple $100,000 for properties?
And why are they that confident that real estate's the answer instead of 20 other vehicles or a combination of something? Why is it all real estate?
I probably don't have time to let my money sit as dormant as it is at the moment.
Maybe not. Listen, it's very different for people who are in your situation and need to save for retirement. But at the same point, I have a hard time believing we're not in a very late I mean, this is a 10-year, no recession, 10-year bull market in stocks, 10 years of real estate is going up and up and up. I mean, everything has gone well for 10 years. Everything.
I can't do 15.
Oh, can.
Well, let's put
It's
it
not
like
likely.
when our parents were buying homes, early 80s, what were the interest rates early 80s? 80, 81.
18%?
15 to 20%, yeah.
Do you think people now, and I use this because I don't think we are, we're Gen X or Y or something like
We're
that.
Generation X. We're the very
millennial.
first year.
He's preparation age.
Hey, don't knock that.
You have to use that?
That's miracle stuff right there.
Is it really?
Oh, first off, I don't use it. Mine's much stronger. It's a medical version
Do
of
you
it.
really?
Oh my God.
Who gives it to you?
We should have had Andrew on the Shit Yourself podcast.
You do?
Who else is doing it?
I don't know, Jen.
We won't get into it, but
Holy shit, I didn't know all this.
oh yeah, I had an issue one time.
Is that when
and
I
it
picked
was
up from the hospital?
It was a special tube with a little nozzle
Oh.
on it, with like holes coming out the nozzle.
Like a muffler, like a
Yeah.
Million and one shot,
like a
Doc.
Beretta,
Million
like
and
a
one.
Beretta.
Oh yeah.
Did you get it stuck up there?
And no, Jen had to
She didn't like that?
fill the medicine up. And I go,
God.
by the way,
Look at Tim.
no, that's when we were dating.
Oh, it's been going on that long?
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
That's a keeper, baby.
Yeah.
Do you sit on the toilet too long?
I can't sit long at all.
Are you in a chair, Tim?
Yeah, because I
That's-
heard
I think
that's bad, right?
they
Sitting
tell
on
me
the
it's more
toilet.
hereditary. Oh, sitting on the toilet, that's a bad thing.
You sit long on the toilet?
No. If it doesn't, if I'm not doing anything, and if I'm not,
You know what the funny thing is? If you ask anyone here, well, I'll say ask the male people, Who can get in and out of a stall the fastest?
Who would
I'd
it
say
be?
Me. I gotta go faster than everyone.
Yeah, you probably can. That's true.
Do you have a squatty potty at home?
No,
You need a squatty potty.
I've heard.
I'll gift you one for Christmas. It's a gift to keep giving all year long, Clark. Well, are we done with this deal? I forgot. We were talking about shit in our pants.
No, look, I think the big thing is, Paul and I have seen this, and it's a little different than Deal of the Week, but it's kind of driving
Well, this
home
is interesting to hear.
a
that you
lot of the
guys-
points that we talk
yeah.
about where you're sitting there and saying, for $100,000, we're going to sit there and let something go. And we talk about holding on to fundamentals and all these things where we, it's more preachy.
Yeah,
I think it's good to see the practice of it.
yeah. Practice
And the
what you
fact that
preach.
we're actually out there making offers and trying to get some deals.
We'll
and,
get this deal.
And for all those people out there who
Yeah.
are actually listening to us and making similar offers and holding strong, we feel your pain.
Hodl.
You have very hairy arms. It's
Thank
a
you for
like a
joining
bristle
us
pad. What's it called?
for Deal of the Week. Deal of the Week. Andrew brings Paula.
Deal of the week. It says so too.
Thanks, everybody. Join us next time on the podcast. Love you. Smooches.